Welcome everybody to a World of Tanks replay. My name is Maxwell and today's replay from the user Centrix5, and he's driving the FV4202 on a standard battle on the Arctic region. FV4202 gets a lot of flack, known as the Prius in some circles. It's a below average tier 10 medium tank for the British. Doesn't have, well, it has fantastic acceleration, but doesn't have a very good top speed, as you can see already at its top speed. Not really going at very much, not going at a fair rate of clip, to be fair. Does have a decent cannon, good, well, not, it's got a good cannon for what it does. It's fast firing, high penetration, but low alpha damage. I mean, if we take a look at the stats there, that aren't showing up for some reason. Average damage 390, penetration 268, and very quick firing gun itself. Tank itself, not great armor. But you know what, every time I watch a replay of somebody driving the FV4202 that's been sent in, they always do pretty exceptionally, despite the shortcomings of the tank. I think it's maybe just because anybody would be too embarrassed to send a replay of this tank in if it wasn't absolutely unbelievable. And just to try and prove people wrong. Almost made a little bit of a mistake there, tunnel visioning on the Centurion just a little bit, and didn't spot the E75 just to his right hand side. Realised his mistake at the last second and was able to pick out a shot on the side of the E75 and then one in his underplate. And that's the risk you've really... one of the biggest risks in this game is tunnel visioning, focusing on one tank or one area to the exclusion of everything else. And if he continued to tunnel vision on the Centurion, he possibly would have taken a shot to his side from the E75. And the E75 doesn't pack a small punch. That would have been about 500 points of damage to him. Gets a shot on the Centurion. Doesn't take any return damage, which is always nice. You can see the turret of this thing can tend to be quite bouncy somehow. Looses off another shot, but it's just as the guy gets behind the pillbox. As you can see, the Allies have just overwhelmed them here. But the thing that they have to be conscious of is the fact that they don't have much in the way of forces on the northern flank, concentrating as they are everybody on the south. All of the heavy tanks decide they want a piece of the action as well, so they start pushing through. AMX 1390 decides he wants absolutely none of that nonsense and starts to make a run for it, but gets obliterated. It looks like the Allies haven't been as quick as the enemy team, as the enemy team has now wiped everybody out in the north. Allies do have some defenders in the form of a couple of smaller tanks and that T-30. There is still a T-54E1 in a bitter duel with the ST-1 here. Takes a shot in the track from the ISU-152, but he's undeterred. Gets one good hit and then sees that the ISU is still looking in this direction, so drops back to put that giant rock between himself and the ISU. ISU's got some bigger problems to worry about just about now, as the Allies have as well. You can see a lot of the enemy team, what they've done is they've started to make a move through the centre and push down that left-hand side to make a determined defence effort. But the rest of the enemy team all pushing down from the north. There's only that T-30 left now. Now he's dead as well. So only this T-54 in this standoff position, making any effort to defend. 5 enemy tanks, all looking reasonably healthy. It looks like Centrix is going to be spoilt for choice here. But the enemy medium tank's doing a fantastic job of kind of dispersing. If they'd all kind of hung around together, the Allies could have just put shot after shot into them at their leisure. As it is, they've all kind of dispersed. The Leopard 1 stayed in a sniping position. The T-62A is kind of circling around the base there. And the rest of the guys have made a move across the field to try and take out the Allied tank destroyers that are there. Centrix did land 2 great shots on that Leopard 1 now. Thinking about heading back to the south, but you can see somebody's put themselves in the cap circle. That's almost certainly going to be the T-62A. And if nobody makes a move for that, this could prove to be difficult to shift, considering he's well entrenched there behind the cover. I think Centrix realises that a T-54 and a T-54E1 will be more than capable of taking out one T-62A. Although it looks like an RU has appeared now. Centric still concentrating more on that left-hand side. If he can kind of scare those guys off with covering fire, hopefully they're not going to make a move in to try and save their tanks in the cap circle here. Decides to aim just as long as he dared before the RU-251 got out of position. Out of the line of fire. He's making a move for it. And looks like these guys are just going to be able to circle him, close him down. And can Centrix pick up the kill? He can indeed. His first kill now. At 4,000 damage, he picks up his first kill. And with that one, he's evened up the score nicely. On the Allied team, they've got himself a T-54 and a T-54E1. Both looking reasonably healthy. They've got a Jagdpanzer E-100 as well. Also looking reasonably healthy. The enemy team, their tanks all looking in pretty good nick as well. But to be honest, the Allies should have the best of this one. They've got 2 Tier 10s left, as opposed to the enemy, who are all Tier 9s and a Tier 8. Not that the ISU-152 cares about your tier. It'll wreck your face regardless, with that ridiculous cannon it's got. Finds the Leopard PT-8. Takes a hit. Well, that one bounced and fires one off in return to get some damage. And Centric's just going to stay up on this hill in an effort to try and keep the Leopard PTA spotted. Does take a shot for his trouble. But as long as he can keep the Leopard PTA in his sights, and hopefully this T-54 should be able to come around from the side and surprise him. Looks like the Leopard PTA realises what's going on now and starts to back away. Not before he takes a big hit. And that leaves him with just 15 hit points remaining. Can't quite get a shot in the ISU as he's behind cover. Now the T-54 has taken out the Leopard PTA. It's going to be a case of moving behind the AMX-30. And to be honest, the AMX-30's got no good choices he can make here. He's got a T-54E1 in front of him, a T-54 behind him. And now Centrix is making an effort. Looks like somebody had a shot here, but it just ricocheted. Just lucky for Centrix. And they've taken out the AMX-30 now. Jagdpanzer E-100 got himself killed pretty easily. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Looks like, in fact, the Jagdpanzer E-100 didn't do anything to anybody. He just got himself killed. Probably a combination of that ISU-152 and the Waffenträger Panzer IV able to take him out, but it looks like they took him out pretty easily. But to be honest, I don't really know what happened over there, so we won't really speak too ill of him. ISU backing away, and that's a lovely snapshot. Nice piece of luck just when it was needed. Even though they are winning this one 13 kills to 12. I'm just going to speed this one up a little bit until we get back into the action. Centrix is going to flank all the way around. T-54 going to come in an effort to try and spot the ISU. He lights up now. Centrix can take a shot from him if need be. It looks like that one just about missed. Now he's going to try and close him down. The Waffenträger Panzer IV is on the right-hand side, but from his position on the minimap, it looks like he may be stuck. Can the T-54 take a shot? Well, he doesn't have to worry about that, as the T-54 takes out the ISU, and that just leaves the Waffenträger Panzer IV. Looks like the T-54 is making a move towards the cap circle. And like I said, it looks like the Waffenträger may actually be stuck down that little rise there. There is a fallen heavy tank down there, so it looks like he may have cliff dived in an effort to try and get him. So he's almost certainly going to be stuck there. He is. So Centrix going to come in, just try and take him out. He can afford to take a couple of hits from this Waffenträger, but it looks like the Waffenträger doesn't have the gun elevation, and he knows it. He's just stuck there. There's nothing he can really do. The Waffenträger's for it. And this is going to be some lovely free damage for Centrix just to pad his score out a little bit. There's nothing the Waffenträger can do. He's resigned to his fate. And that is the victory. So awesome replay there from Centrix 5, picking himself up 7,500 points of damage. Only 2 kills, but a very, very well played game in my opinion, using the minimap to his advantage and making all the right moves at the right times, flanking around the enemy when needed. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, then send that in to replay@screenreality.com. The link for that's in the description. Just attach the replay file itself or the link to the What Replay website to the email, and I can check that one out for you. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, you found it useful, informative, you learned something, or you just thought it was fun, think about hitting that subscribe button, because there's a lot more World of Tanks content on this channel. I have been Maxwell, it's been a World of Tanks replay, and I'll catch you guys next time.